Recording. Alright, so I've got a fresh battery, not that it matters because the camera decides when the battery's flat, whether it's 2 minutes or half an hour. I was talking about being in the mental health unit, and I'm going to tell you about the things that they do, what you have to do if you end up in this situation, and why you should never be in this situation. The first reason is there is no Mental Health Act. It's false imprisonment. They detain people that they can't lock up in jail. They force them with experimental drugs. They destroy their mind and their soul, and they give them a false diagnosis which will ruin their life in civil life. So anyway, I was detained. My friend, I've been friends with since I was 2 years old, came to my rescue, and I was having dinner. Typical clunky plastic dinner tray, had some veggies, some pork, and I ate some of the pumpkin. Tasted fine, but I started to feel happy and stupid straight away, so I thought to myself, yeah, hey, the food's drugged. Went to bed that night. The room is 2 hexagonal rooms in the shape of an 8. The bathroom and the bedroom together, the shape of a figure 8. Eerie. Reeked of stale feces. Whether it was from the room itself or a drain outside, I don't know. The handle of the door, shaped like a big round metal claw, could have had a functional purpose to stop someone hurting himself on it, or it could have just been creepy. I'm going to go with creepy because the devices and paraphernalia and things in this room were designed to cause basically mental trauma. You'd have 5 power outlets, double power outlets, all painted red. You'd have shit all over the ceiling. Some of it was smoke alarm stuff, some of it you had no idea. But there were no cameras, there are no cameras anywhere, so they can do whatever they want to you. The bed is the size of a child's bed, about 4.5 feet. It's like a 4.5 foot gymnastics mat. And it's like they want you to use the wall as a headrest. And my personal opinion is that they're putting audible currents through that wall and into your skull, V2K. So I moved the bed away from the wall and I curled up. I had my feet hanging out the end. They also, behind my head, had a metal medicine drawer. Every time they got somebody medicine, they would slam it against the wall. And I'd hear a chain hitting the wall as well. There was a chain hanging off one of the handles. And I got woken up all through the night, went out there and told all the staff off in the middle of the night, said there's deeply disturbed people here, keep it down. I'm under the impression that they were all drunk, having a party. The next day I had breakfast. I had toast, butter on toast. There was a chewy, yellowish spot in the middle of the bread. It tasted like chicken stock. So all the food was drugged. There was somebody disassembling and reassembling a loaf of bread with a drop of drugs in every bread slice. So I called my friend. He shopped for me. He gave me 5 days of food. I was there for 5 days. Flagon of water. Another member of my family gave me a power bank so I could charge my phone because you weren't allowed any cords in case you try to neck yourself with it. And they confiscate all your phones behind the desk during sleep time, so I wasn't going to let them have my phone. During my time I researched the Mental Health Act, which is non-existent. They make it up as they go along. The Declaration of Human Rights and the Nuremberg Code. Researched it until I memorised it, and then we had a tribunal at a table with about 4 or 5 mental health board members. I officially asked each of them individually if they had to be there, which turned out 2/3 of them didn't have to be, so see you later, off you go. I had to disclose to them that my videos that I had uploaded on YouTube were because of a narrative science fiction based narrative comic that I was illustrating, and it was works in art. So they couldn't pin me for any mental health disorder or anything like that. They tried though. They were harassing me and interrogating me 7 times a day till I just refused. And I refused all their drugs, I refused their interviews, and even just absolutely corrupt things like a young Indian psychiatrist couldn't be a day over 18, walking with her to the interview room, and she's talking to me, and then I respond and she turns around and looks at me shocked as if I'm talking to myself. So I said, oh okay, well I'll see how this game's played. The last interview I had was that day, and it was a grubby old witch looking lady covered in silver jewellery, and she kept doing stuff with her hands, and it's like she's throwing dog shit everywhere. I felt sick, and she accused me of sleeping with big knives under my pillows and this and that. And I just kept my head down. I worked out. I did a lot of workouts and things. Didn't eat their food, didn't take their drugs. I reckon half of the people in there were TIs, the other half were drug and alcohol affected, who had properly blown themselves off, which is what mental health is meant to be for. But instead, it's something that shouldn't even exist. It's an industry to imprison, destroy minds, silence truth speakers, and give people a high-paying job. I left the mental health facility. Might be getting some wind feedback there. I left the mental health facility, had to sign a declaration stating that I was under severe trauma, which is why I'd been led into the facility, which I didn't want to sign the document, but the psychiatrist was standing between me and the door. She made a point that it was only going to be her way. She could have easily had falsified a scenario and had me tackled by security and injected with drugs and all kinds of shit that I didn't want to deal with. And I can go on and on about stories. I can go on and on till somebody actually executes me for real. I've involuntarily been a part of satanic ritual abuse in Canberra. It took me years to figure out what was going on. By the time I did figure it out, I felt more violated than you could ever imagine a human being feeling, especially one with morals. There have been attempts on my life, but not on my behalf, and they do it in the sense that they are so coordinated with their surveillance, they don't directly try to murder you, although druggings do happen. They lead you in the path of danger. And that can happen very easily. They're very sophisticated and coordinated. The only way to manage it is to be extra careful, be fast when you have to be fast, trust your gut, be inconsistent. If you're inconsistent, it throws a real spanner in the works. They can't work out who to send and what to plan. They fuck up all the time and make themselves look like geese all the time. Yeah, all my dogs have been murdered since I was a kid. All my cars have been destroyed, either by insurance fraud being set up before me, or mechanics destroyed my car. So I'm in a situation where it's irresponsible for me to have a vehicle or a girlfriend or relationship, because it's too vulnerable. It's a waste of energy. I should be focusing my energy on other things until it's safe to do so and actually live. I think that's all I can tell you for now. I'm going to keep trying to bring out evidence-based material, not stories, but you do have to have something to fall back on. You can't listen to people's spiritual aspects of life all the time, because everyone's their own individual person. You can end up going crazy watching these videos, so try to make them as direct as I can and few and far between. But thanks for watching. See you later.